draft to like say it's one win condition.
Okay, so let's turn off Terran's vision. Just watch Photos, see
Right.
what's going on. First pylon's going to be part of SimCity, that's fine. Gateway's fine. 11 gas, I think 12 gas is fine if you're going for like a rangeless expand.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's minor. That core does not do shit for your SimCity. The core should have been below the pylon. Okay, why are we
Yeah, I
scouting?
need better
Going for?
SimCity at this location. For sure.
We've got 3 probes and gas immediately, so we're doing a range rush. But we're building a Zealot. And we're going for 2 early units. So this can't be an early Nexus because we're going to need a third pylon. Like the early Nexus, you do Nexus of 2 pylons, which means that
Yeah,
at
that's
most
what
you
I
can do like 3
intended to
rooms.
do, but then I forgot my
But
probe.
sorry, what do you mean that's what you intended to? You built a Zealot.
I did. It was okay. This build I got it from Snow. It's a salad into Dragoon, and then he get range or no range depending on the situation of what he scout.
Yeah, but Snow understands why he does the build. If you can't explain to me why Snow does the build and why it works, then you shouldn't be doing it.
No, I know how this build works, man. I was just a little bit
Okay.
late on the Nexus, so I made pylon before Nexus
So how many
because
pylons before the Nexus?
okay, he goes Zealot Goon, and then if he skip rain, he just go Nexus, and then he go pylon.
So it's a 2 pylon Nexus opener where instead of doing like a 23 Nex with 2 Dragoons, you're doing a 23 Nex with a Zealot and a Dragoon.
Yeah, and this beat the bunker timing, so you can pressure them with Zealot and Dragoon because I guess at the Korean meta level they try to skip bunker sometimes, right? Just to get in
Okay.
like a quick CC.
Then you probably want your gateway further forward than this if you're going for like a specific timing on a bunker. And the 3 probes on gas, I mean, you're not rushing the range, you're rushing the Nexus in most circumstances. Because like normally if you if you don't build the Zealot, you line up your 150 gas with your 150 minerals, right? You get Dragoon, and then like 3 seconds later you go straight into range. Our minerals and gas are not aligned here. This does not. We're just slowing down our Nexus.
Right.
So we've got too much gas. But okay, let's see what happens. Okay, so we know where he is at this point because we see a SCV. But
Yeah,
so we
he's
know it's gonna.
bottom. I mean, he's top right.
Okay. So the question is now, what are we going to do about this? We're showing range. We don't have an observer, so we don't have a probe at our natural, so we can't actually place a nexus even if we wanted to. And we probably need another pylon at this point, just because like we're behind where we want to be. We are going to hit 25. So
Right.
at that point, we build the pylon early. Okay. Still haven't set a probe to the natural. Canceling the range. I don't hate it because it's cost map. But have we confirmed the CC? We have not, because we sent the probe in first, not the zealot.
Yeah, but then the vulture. When I see the vulture, I knew he was
So
doing
you
like
think
a.
the vulture
But yeah,
confirms the
I still
CC?
should have confirmed the CC.
Yeah. Well, Jumper's on stream. You're showing vision of both sides. I'm just looking at your vision. So, but like the zealot should have confirmed it, but you sent the probe in first. Then you panicked because the probe was going to die, and then you pulled it back.
Yeah.
Vulture could be a 2-fac. We haven't confirmed shit.
Yeah,
So
this
yeah,
could have
canceling
been
the
a
range
two
here
fact.
is
You're exactly right.
yeah,
So if he went two facts, I would have been in serious problem.
yeah. You'd have just been dead.
Yeah.
Canceling the range against a 2-fac is not the play. We'll be mining gas non-stop with 3 things. Okay, we're building a 3rd unit. We've got a Zealot and a Dragoon. We're building a 2nd Dragoon. This is not the play. So building this extra Dragoon now, these should be probes. You are ready. exit. He couldn't have possibly made the decision to go 2-fac after knowing it was cost 1. If he was doing 2-fac, he was already committed to 2-fac, and it would have worked because Jumper cancelled the range. That's a dumb point exit. You should feel bad. Jumper, the Dragoon here is costing you probes. You are supply blocked. Your Nexus isn't building anything. You're doing an economic opener. It's cross map. You believe he's doing a factory expand. What the fuck is the second Dragoon for?
I was just on autopilot, man, but you're exactly right. I should have just go probe instead of Ewan.
And you should also have a robo, because this is a 25 robo opener, and you don't have a robo.
So don't make the goon, make probe and then robotic and then Dragoon. I mean pylon somewhere.
You don't really want to be making. You want to make as few Dragoons early game as possible. Dragoons is what loses you the game early. Dragoons fuck your timings. Every time you build a Dragoon, you are delaying something else.
Okay.
If you watch my games, I don't build Dragoons except when I need them. I build gateways.
Gateway over Dragoon? So you would skip Dragoon and make a gateway?
Well, in this case, I wouldn't. So, how many Dragoons do you need right now?
I mean, I don't really need any Dragoon, right? But I didn't confirm the ZZ. And sometimes they do like a 2-fac push after they expand. So I did autopilot Dragoon.
That can't hit right now. So how many Dragoons do you need right now?
Just 1 to deny this bullshit.
1 Dragoon on the ramp so the Vulture doesn't get in. That is the entire army you need right now.
Right.
And your entire build is going to be based around rushing that observer into the base, so you can decide if you're going arbiters, if you're taking a third base, if you're adding gateways, what's going on, and you're delaying the observer.
The robo, okay, I see your point now.
I mean,
yes.
this second Dragoon is fucking you. You don't need it, and the stuff that you do need, you're not getting because you're building this.
Oh, this is actually very interesting, because when you do something like this in a game, you don't think about it, but with a better player like you, you're like, okay, this is such a big mistake, but I don't even see it, man. It's like, this Dragoon is fucking me over so hard right now.
It's an observer rush, and you're not rushing an observer, and you couldn't identify what went wrong. If when you do your observer rush, you're not rushing your observer, something's gone wrong. It's in the name. It's in the name. Okay. So let's see where our robo timing is. We've got no minerals. We would have enough minerals had we not built that goon. We're also not doing probes constantly. Okay, is that... Okay, we have started a robo. We killed the first Vulture for me.
Yeah, that guy really completely messed up, man. Losing that Vulture.
Okay. First Vulture's dead. We have an extra Dragoon that we don't need. Put it on the map. Dragoon straight on the map. There are no mines. We know there are no mines. Vulture's dead. Okay,
do Terran have a speed Vulture timing at this point? Because, like, I don't know any Terran...
Who cares? A Dragoon's not afraid of... How many Vultures can he have?
1, 2.
Okay. How many Vultures can a Dragoon fight?
I mean, he's slow Vulture, so 1 Dragoon can fight the entire village early game. So
yeah,
just send them out, I guess.
Because, yeah, there's no mines.
I was afraid of the speed Vulture timing.
Yeah, but Dragoon beats the speed Vulture.
Yeah, but if they run it in your base, then...
Yeah, but you've got a second Dragoon that stays on the ramp.
Okay. Okay, yeah, it doesn't... I think the Vulture, speed Vulture doesn't come in.
Anytime you get the first Vulture, put units on the map. Because that way, you'll see if he moves out, you'll see where his Vultures go, you'll see if he's building Vultures. If he's building, like, if you see a bunch of Vultures on the map, it's probably a drop as well. It's good information.
Okay, so where would I put the Dragoon? In front of his base?
Yeah, just in front of his base.
And then the other Dragoon stay back, or do I send him out too?
Always 1 unit on the ramp.
Okay, always 1 unit on the ramp, got it.
And you can get your... Okay, you started your range now, that's fine. But, like, your observer timing is garbage. Yeah,
it is. Okay, how far can I get away with no Dragoon range?
I mean, you want Dragoon range by this point anyway, because if they go for just a second factory rather than a factory armory, they
Right,
can do a
right.
push. It's unlikely they're going to do a push cross position, but also, what are you going to get instead of Dragoon range at this point? Citadel? Probably not. It's Dragoon range at this point is absolutely fine. Observatory timing is right after the robo, so that's okay. You're not building probes. You should build probes. Probes are pretty good. Adding a second gateway into by now is fine. I would, yeah, putting a Dragoon at 9 o'clock is good here. I would agree with that. Losing the probe's not ideal, but I mean,
Yeah,
it
not
happens.
ideal.
Okay, Dragoon goes on the ramp at 9 o'clock, obviously. Because you put it on the ramp and then they can't get in.
Right, right.
Also, you're not building probes. Also, you're not building an observer. So the observer rush is a build where you rush the observer. Now, which part of the observer rush do you think we're doing wrong here right now?
Hey man, if you play the rap right now, the next second I make observer, okay?
Okay, so it's a second late.
I wasn't thinking observer rush. I'm just trying to like play the game, I guess.
Okay, so we want to build as few Dragoons as possible because Dragoons are really expensive and they fuck up our timings.
Right.
But we also we want to have enough to hold whatever he's doing, which means that we don't know what the right amount of Dragoons is, and we don't know if we can take our third base, and we don't know if we can commit to our tech until the observer gets in there. Like, I will very often go straight into my third base and my Arbiter on 4 Dragoons. 4 Dragoons and 3 idle gateways. Because I send the observer across the map, and if it runs into some tanks going the opposite direction, I just start 3 Dragoons. And by the time we have a fight, I've got 7 Dragoons and observer, I'm happy.
So you
But
make 3 gateway and then you don't use them.
yeah,
Okay.
but like, so yeah, you are currently on what 1, 2, 3 Dragoons and a Zealot. You're building 4 Dragoons about to finish. You're on 4 Dragoons. You're going up to 6 Dragoons and a Zealot. And you're going to go higher than that. You haven't started your Citadel yet. You haven't started your second gas yet. Your Arbiter rush timing is not going to be a rush.
When do I get second gas?
You've just taken it now. I think that's fine. I would start Citadel nowish too.
Yeah, I tried to
Okay,
line
so
up
my
Citadel.
observer would already be like
Yeah,
outside his base.
I
right now.
noticed that my observer was late.
Yeah,
Because
I go for like 6:30 at the latest is when your observer should be getting there.
right, this is very
The fact
late.
that yeah, the fact that you've lost a probe at 9 o'clock as well, that's just your Dragoon not being on the ramp. That was sloppy. But so you want to be in this situation where you have you're basically at your Arbiter timing at about 6:40.
Okay.
You have 3 idle gateways. You have a probe at 9 o'clock ready to go down. You have a forge building, and you are ready to like commit to Arbiter. The
Why do you
observer gets
make
into
a
the base
forge that early?
because I'm going for a 11-minute bus timing +1.
Oh shit, I thought you made it for like cannon or something. I see, I see.
You would never want to build cannon.
Yeah, I didn't see the genius behind you like +1 timing. I see, man.
It's actually a little bit early, but I just like getting it started. Okay, so we're building an extra 2 Dragoons. We don't actually need these 2 Dragoons, but we don't know that we don't need these 2 Dragoons.
Right.
We're just overbuilding Dragoons right now. We're also down 5 workers because our pro production just hasn't been that good.
Right.
We haven't started our Citadel. So, I mean, we're just missing all of our timings here. This is just not great. We get a free vulture, that's nice. Your Dragoon still isn't on the ramp at 9 o'clock. Okay, so we've started a Stargate, we've started a Archives. So we're like a good 40 seconds behind just because of the extra Dragoons being built early in the that shit. But okay, we've got some good scouting info. We've confirmed an armory, we've confirmed a factory. So we can throw down the Nexus right now. Oh, we can cancel all of the Dragoons we're building. We don't need those. We can probably take 6 o'clock as well.
So you
Just
just double expand, cancel the Dragoon because you don't need them.
So what build is he telegraphing right here?
He's gonna go into an upgrade build. Very slow. He's probably
And
gonna
how
take
many
a
bases
third.
is he
There's
going to
not
upgrade
enough
on?
factory for timing push.
Is this a 2-base timing that he's doing?
No, there's no way. It's not
So
two-base
he's
timing.
going to 3 bases at a minimum. Where do you want to be?
At least 5 for me. I want 5 base minimum.
Okay. But like, so you know that this game is going to go to him being on 3 base and you on 5 bases.
Right.
Why wait? Just take him. Just take
Did
top left right now. Go for
accelerate
them.
to that point. Okay. Skipping. I don't know like how to skip corner that well yet. But yeah,
Just
canceling
cancel the
these
goods.
good and then throw down the nexus. Double
Yeah.
nexus
Throw
would
down
be
2
good.
nexuses.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Throw down 3 nexuses.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah,
not
I can
pushing.
probably do that because he's not coming out.
Yeah. He's going to take 3 o'clock. You know he's going to take 3 o'clock. There's a
Right,
Terran
yes.
on fucking Fighting Spirit. He's got 3 factories.
Yeah.
If it turns out that you see that he's if he suddenly like scans you or he's got map hack or whatever and he goes to a bunch of factories, then you can adapt to that. You can say, okay, I'm gonna switch into Storm. I'm gonna build a shuttle. I'm gonna play it out.
Sen said he can push with 3 facts if you take a 5th nexus.
Yeah, he never does. Also, I wouldn't take a 5th. I'd take a 4th
Yeah, I
nexus
would
only.
just go for 4th. 5th is pushing it, man. But it's a possibility.
Yeah. Zen, the thing is, Gypsy's really good at this game. Like, a Gypsy would beat me because he would recognize that I was being too greedy. And also, I wouldn't do a 5th base here, but I would definitely take 6 o'clock right off the bat because there's no reason to wait. The Terran is already telegraphing that he is not doing anything that is particularly greedy, and also it doesn't make sense him being that greedy because it's cross map. Like this Terran is the logical build for this Terran is like a slow upgrade style. What you've seen looks like a slow upgrade style. So just say, okay, we're going to play this one late. To play this one late, I need at least 4 bases to counter your 3 bases. I'll go 4
Right.
bases. Just fucking go straight there.
Okay, so he basically doesn't have an option, right? Not a lot of options. So if he telegraph like 3 factory armory, and then eventually it's gonna be CC, like he doesn't, like what option does he have, right? He just had like a what 1-2 timing, or he can try to split the map. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, also you have an observer inside his base, so I mean,
Right.
whatever he's doing, you're gonna know.
Right.
I would also be probably starting my +1 at this point because we already know that this game is going late.
Right.
We're not busting his 3 bases. Our plan is to take 4 bases, then a 5th base, and play it from there.
Right.
So we've already identified our win condition. We're going to spend more money than him in a late game, and we're just going to go carriers.
Right.
So, as then he could, but we would always see that.
Sen he
Terran would be stuck
can. I
trying
mean,
to...
he can try to do that, but it's gonna be. We see everything in his base, and yeah, he's just gonna get counter.
Yeah. We have an observer. We're good. So yeah, we just take 9 o'clock. We go into our arbiters. We get our +1. I probably get our +1 air because we know where we're going in this game. And yeah, I take 6 o'clock as well. You're not building dragoons right now, which I like. I say that and you build 2 more dragoons. But yeah, at this point, just on his factory count, we know that this is going to go into a 3 base.
Okay,
so
he
no
scan out
wait.
gateway, and then he C4 gateway. What is he gonna do? There's
Nothing. He's a
nothing he
coward.
can do.
Terrans do not. Terrans don't have the mental capability to adapt. They just it's not in them. They say that this is what they're gonna do, and then they just do it. It's really quite depressing to watch.
But I thought Terran are the smarter race than what the ape race. So you're telling me we're smarter than the human. It's good to know.
Okay, so I mean, yeah, I mean he's just not reacting at all. He's just sitting there, and you're just taking bases. You take 6 out, you take top left,
Right.
and he's just sitting there on 3 bases. He's like, yeah, I've got 3 bases. It's like, okay, but what's your win condition, Terran? This Terran needs to play for a split map right now, which means he needs to get a big enough army to take one of the corners off of you. Also, you are kind of putting yourself in a difficult spot here with your late 4th and late 5th. Like, you could have had these so much earlier.
Right.
Because right now it's what?
But at least I identify the win condition. I mean, the
No, you
execution
didn't.
needs some
I was
work.
listening to you talking on your stream, and your identified win conditions was fucking ridiculous. Okay, it is 11 minutes. Where's your 200-200?
His. Wait, what was
How
the
many fights
question?
have
I was
happened?
reading chat.
It's 11 minutes. How many fights have happened in this game?
That was no fight. You're good and vulture.
How much probe harass has happened in this game? How much damage has your economy taken?
0.
Where's your 200-200?
Wait, you can get 200 right now at 11 minutes?
You can't?
With 5 days?
Like, it's... You don't have to, but like we are nowhere fucking near, and the reason we're nowhere fucking near is because we waited until we got an observer in to make any kind of decision, and our observer was super late.
Right. So basically
So our third base was late,
that
our fourth
second
base was late.
Dragoon set me back for like 2 minutes overtime.
Because your build was refusing to commit to anything because you didn't have any information.
Right.
It's not like your Arbiter Rush was particularly rushed either. Our gateway count's not great. You're just behind.
Yeah, I see your point now, yes.
Like, really behind.
Yeah, against a better Terran, I would probably lose this. I can see now.
I would also probably have a second Stargate already at this point because, like, I would do 2 Arbiter carriers, but I would like make sure I had the ability to build more Arbiters because they can push out and they can be dangerous. And your
Right.
spellcasting is really not great. You're doing the classic fast Arbiter build that I always mock on my stream, which is where they go, "Oh yeah, I built my Arbiter. I built it fast. Done." Like
When do you add the second Stargate or third Stargate?
when I take a third gas.
So third gas, second Stargate, okay.
And I normally take a third gas, like if I have a good probe count when I take my third. Like when I busted Artosis on Sunday, I had 5 stasis before he had a single vessel.
Yeah, when that happened, I was like, where did those spaces come from? That was
Yeah, 2
insane.
Stargates. And also because he didn't. So I very early read that it was going to be a game that was going to go to the late game. We were going to play this out with like high tech units, a bunch of bases, a bunch of gateways. So I just I accelerated my late game timings. I said, okay, if we're doing late game, if we're doing arbiters, great. I'm going to go straight to arbiters. I don't need to do anything in the mid game. I skipped the mid game. I just went straight into 3 base arbiter. Whereas he built 4 factories and spent his entire mid game building tanks.
Right.
So he was still in the mid game by the time my arbiters were done.
It's kind of like in SIP how you skip an age. Like you just skip everything and
exactly
you
like
get
that.
gunpowder or something, right? And then you just kill everything because everyone is
he
still
had
on my
a shitload of
horses.
units, but they were the units that entire age behind where I was
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he built 4 factories and were just pumping tanks and not getting upgrades, not getting stuff. It was weird, but I had an observer inside his base, so I could see that he was doing that. Anyway, so yeah, we should have had a second Stargate by now. We're adding gateways now, which is okay, but like we really need an observer like mid right and. Okay, we're moving out to take both corners as well. I'm not unhappy with the plan to take the corners. The plan to take corners makes sense. Okay, we confirmed he has mid-right. We have a bunch of gateways. We're getting some arbiters. We've got stasis. If he pushes out right now, we'd probably have some trouble, but we're going to max out pretty soon. If he pushes out, we get an arc on him. We stasis him. It's pushing cross position. This game is most likely going to him taking it 12 o'clock. That's because if he tries to push cross map into a army in a big arc with the economy you have and stasis, he's going to have a bad time. So it's most likely going to him taking 12 o'clock. If he takes 12 o'clock,
and then try to take the other man.
So just in terms of like the positional play on the map, as I said, if he takes 12 o'clock and you take bottom right, that's a checkmate play. He cannot win from that position. That's just him extending the game. So
Right.
you are completely fine with him taking 12. That's him playing into his own checkmate. That's fine. You take bottom right, it's good. Okay. However, imagine he does take 12, you have bottom right, top left. How do you actually end the game? It's got to be carriers, right?
Yeah, I think it had to be carrier.
Yeah, and you already know that, and you've got infinite money. So Fleet Beacon, second cybernetics core, start the upgrades. You don't need the carriers yet. You still want the arbiters to dominate the
I
middle of the
was a
map.
little bit worried because I knew that I was a little bit behind on supply, so that's why I didn't go
Yeah,
carrier yet. I fucked up my
yeah.
bill, so I should have
You
200,
don't want to
200. I
go
don't have
carrier
it.
yet. You are not at the point in the game where you win yet. You do not have bottom right. You have not got gateway set up at top left and bottom right. You are not there yet, but you know that that's where we're going.
Right, right. So I got the +1 air weapon.
Yeah, you already got the +1. Get me another core. Get me the fleet beacon. Get me +2. Because that's where we're going.
Okay.
That is, you want your first 200 supply to be the army that holds the middle of the map, because that's what forces him to take 12. If on the first, if the first time he moves out, he beats your army and moves down to bottom right and takes bottom right, then you have a difficult game.
Right.
So the first 200 has to be able to crush his army. That's going to be gateway units. That's going to be arbiters. You're going to want like 4 stasis on like 2 arbiters. So you don't want early carriers.
Right.
You want the ability to go late carriers once you've created the situation where he's in checkmate. Once he's taken 12, you're taking bottom right.
The carrier is to just end the game, right? It's kind of like walking
Yeah,
your pawn into the and promote it into a queen.
yeah. And you can see that that's how this game's going to go.
Right.
Also, we are never going to recall him this game. And again, that's something that you'll notice in my games is that I don't recall with my arbiters. Like ever.
Why?
Recall is a loss condition.
So you don't recall ever.
Recall is a loss condition. Recall loses you games. If I'm ever in a situation where I need to recall to win a game, I've fucked up.
So you did never recall is what you're telling me because it can lose you the game because of mine and shit
It's
going off.
you are playing this said like go. You're establishing position on the board. You are saying, okay, I'm going to move my pieces here. You then have to move your pieces there, and then that position is favorable to me.
Right.
And by the time that everybody has made the moves that they have to make, you've already won the game. You don't need to make any actual plays. Your position is so favorable that the game's over.
I see, I see. So
You're
that's
not
how you
trying
win
to,
games without
yeah,
relying on mechanic.
yeah. The game's already over before the actual
Right.
game starts. Like before anybody does anything.
Could you know the game theory?
So with that in mind, this game, we don't ever need to attack. We are not concerned about them having 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock is not their win condition. We are not concerned about them having 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock, not their win condition. If we have top left and bottom right, and we have upgraded carriers, the game is unwinnable for them.
So we
So
just
we are
have
not
to
concerned.
block his push and then the carrier will just checkmate him.
Yeah. We have to dominate the middle of the map so that they can't move out and take another corner. And if they can't move out and take another corner, then the best option they have is taking 12. And if they take 12, then still lose. So, yeah, if we recall an army and we lose the army, suddenly we can lose the corner. We have
Someone in chat want to know what is Terran win condition?
Herod has to take a corner. They have to split up this map.
Right.
If they do not take a corner in a cross map situation, then they will just get outspent. Or at the very least, they have to deny a corner.
Well, if
So,
okay, Backseat, if Terran go armory opening, with 3
he is
facts,
going
then
armory
yeah, you
still.
have to go 3-2. But obviously, there's different ways Terran can win the game. They can
Yeah,
go
well, Terran is
farming
getting upgrades.
attack.
Upgrades won't end it if you have the other two corners. Upgrades are not enough. They have to deny a corner or take a corner.
Right. So
And to do that, they have to be able to move out into the middle of the map and actually take a fight. And to move out into the middle of the map and take a fight, they have to be able to deal with the fact that you're going to have like 4 stasis.
yeah, so we already
What?
like brought their basically their partial win condition with 4 stasis.
And that's why we don't risk our first 200 army. That's why we don't fuck around with recalls, because recalls only help us lose. Recalling an army is a way that we can lose a corner.
So let's say a recall go well, does it actually win you the game? Or does it not matter because you are
You've already
so
won the game.
confident in your position that you don't even need to recall to risk it?
You've already won the game. Recall can only help you lose.
I see, I see. Cause your positioning is so strong that you don't even have to like make any play. Cause you already know you're gonna win. The carriers are coming. If he move out, then you got your stasis. It's essentially checkmate, but the Terran doesn't know it.
Yeah. So in this situation, you want to be making sure that you're getting gateways, you're getting storm, because if you take a big fight in the middle and he's got 3-2, you will lose that fight. You want to take like an even fight, you want to get damage done, but you will lose against upgrades.
When do you get
But then,
Storm? If you go Arbiter,
like 4th gas,
Fourth Gas
or like
Storm,
I get
okay.
storm when I want to defend a base, because you're taking top left and bottom right.
Right.
Gateways and storm make those so difficult for them to push.
I see, I see.
So like that's a good reason to get storm, in my opinion. But
Yeah, I think that's a good timing.
yeah, like so right now you are not going carriers. You're not faking. You're setting up for the carriers later, but you are saying, okay, to force them to take 12, to force them not to be able to take a corner, I need to be able to win the first big fight in the middle, and then I need to be able to like make it very painful for them to push with storm, with gateway units, with gateways at different locations, so that they play themselves into an unwinnable spot. Also, you've got too many probes. Stop building probes. I try and stop around 110 supply because of all the fun.
Okay.
Okay, so what's our army combat? We've probably got a few too many zealots. Not enough gateways for sure.
Yeah,
Triple
I
arbiter
don't.
here is a little bit troll.
Okay, what is the ideal army composition before
It
Terran
depends
move
on
out?
the game. Stacking your 2 arbiters with energy on top of each other is a
That's
lost
how
division.
you lose. Get EMP.
That's how you lose games. Because again, we have to win this first fight. This first fight is why we end up with the corners. Which is also something that the Terran should be thinking about as well. The Terran should be looking at this spot and thinking, the only way I win this is if I get the best EMP of my life, and then looking with their comp stats to find it.
Yeah, his positioning is very bad. I got the 2 corners setting up. I mean, he.
Yeah. But once the Terran identifies that he's fucked, he's really lost this game, only a miracle EMP can save it for him. Instead of just being like thinking of that in terms of like a abstract thing, it's like, oh well, if I get the EMP, that's great. I might win the game. He should go and find it. Like that's something that you don't see very often, which is like players actually go saying the YOLO play for me here is getting vessels and just flying them around and finding the things,
Right.
or scanning until I find them. Because if he gets the EMP on the arbiters, he can just roll out right now. He's maxed out basically. He's got good upgrades. He can go take a corner. He can just push top left, knock out top left. If he knocks out top left, then pulls back, takes 12 o'clock, he can still win. He probably will win.
Yeah. Exit said Terran lost when he spawned cross map.
Exit should try and attain S rank before he talks. Okay, our army should be ready on the map because in terms of position, like the fight we want is at the bridge. The bridge is going to give us like a good arc there. Statuses can be very powerful on the bridge. So Our army really should be set up properly. Half our army is still back home. And yeah, we should be heading towards we should be building fleet beacon, second cybernetics core, more gateways, and so forth.
Bro,
Right
okay, Exit, this game isn't about who can play Terran the best. It's about winning. I mean, different race has different tools, right? I said before, man, Terran is the hardest to use, but if you can use the Terran well, it's the best race in the game. Protoss doesn't require as much APM, but the
now.
skill ceiling is not as high as Terran.
Okay, so you're getting Storm, you're getting Recall, you're getting some High Templar, you're adding gateways, you're getting double upgrades, you're getting Observer movement speed. This is all very good. Terran just moves out completely blind. I don't think he even scanned, so... Yeah, he didn't actually scan. If you change to his vision, he has no idea what's on the map. He's just unsees his tanks and gone. I don't think there's a vessel nearby either, so I don't think that he's actually going to be able to see your units.
Yeah, this guy did move out, man, into stasis.
Yeah, so, I mean, you kill the front tanks for free.
And then
Okay,
do I just pull back here or what?
No, you sack the army for no reason. And you just right now you should pull back. Yeah, you should pull back, and
Right.
you should just keep building gateways. Take the naturals. Maybe even take 12
And then
o'clock
I
and
just
just build
go
some cannons
carrier
there.
here, right? Ideally.
No, we're not at carriers yet. You go stargates and carrier upgrades, but we're still at the point where we're like dominating the middle of the map. He's still only on 3 bases.
Okay.
But you just win harder here in terms of like setting up your position. You mine more minerals from the corners. You make the corners even more difficult for him to push.
Right.
If you take 12 o'clock and put some cannons there and then use some high Templar there, that's funny too. Just lock down the game.
Okay.
Yeah, right now your zealots are getting a little bit enthusiastic. The fact that he doesn't have a vessel is he literally cannot see your army unless he scans. Then now your goons are getting a bit enthusiastic. This is not the play. And then you just remax it with more gateway units. Oh, here's his vessel. He does have one. So yeah, you should have just pulled back immediately and then kept the contain up.
So just keep containing him and then keep expanding and then eventually go carrier.
Yeah, just like eventually, like if you keep this going for like another 5 minutes, you can build like 12 stargates. And when it's time to go carriers, you can build 12 of them at once.
12 Stargate? Okay. You said 12 Stargate. Is that what you're supposed to do?
No, my point is that there are different stages of the game. This is the stage of the game where you force him to push out into an arc and push out into stasis.
Right.
While you establish your corners, establish your economy, establish your tech. Once that stage is over, that's when you go carriers.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
literally 12.
I want to know how to get to that age of a carrier.
Yeah.
How would I do it?
If you were to like during the gateway phase, if you were to start like adding 1 or 2 carriers, what you're going to have is a shitty carrier fleet and an army that can't contain him properly. That's not what we're going for here. We're going to stay on the gateway arbiter comp until the game transitions to the point where he has to take a corner off of you or settle for 12. Once we're at that point in the game, then we're going cannons, high Templar, and carriers.
Okay.
And if he lets you just delay that part of the game, you still don't go carriers until it's time to go carriers. Just build more stargates, and when it's time to go carriers, I can build 12 of them at once. Like if you get to the point where you have 5,000 minerals, it's like 30 minutes into the game and he's still on 3 bases. Then you can just build all the carriers all at once. Like it's
okay. Hold on, let me talk to chat a little. Yo, Exit, thanks for stopping by, man. No hard feeling. Terran is a hard race, man. Just have a nice day, man.
So yeah, it's not carrier time right now. It is gateway comp time right now. When it's carrier time, build the carriers. But right now it's completely fine to be on gateway comp. Because he's not at the point where you're forced to build carriers yet, but you do want the upgrade, because the upgrades take forever, so you start those early. Upgrades do not take supply.
Right.
Okay, so we're doing the gateway comp. We've eaten a pretty big EMP, but it's fine. We lost so many goons and zealots for no reason. Okay. So he needs to push toward 12, toward top left right now. And you need to deny that push. What you do not need to do, which is weird because you said that it's exactly what you need to do, is kill 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock is not involved in this game. You also
So
don't
you
need to
wouldn't
recall his
ignore the
main.
3 o'clock.
It's not involved. 3 o'clock is not a win condition, it's not a loss condition. 3 o'clock's not in the game. It's like saying, okay, the priority of this game is to kill like the depot at the top right of his main. It's just he has a depot at the top right of his main. You know, it's useful to him. It gives him 8 supply, but it's not a factor. It's just something that's going on.
Right.
It doesn't change anything.
So ideally, I pull back my army and then to keep denying his 12 o'clock.
Yeah, you pull back your army. You don't do the recall. You make sure that he doesn't kill the. I mean, top left is going to be a real bitch for him to kill. But
Right.
if you had the extra 2 arbiters you should have, the extra stasis you should have, you could do a lot here. Firstly, you could cut off reinforcements on his army, and then just go in for like a surround, attacking from top left and from the middle of the map. But yeah, this is just a waste of time. This isn't part of your win condition. But the stasis that allow you to defend top left, that's part of your win condition.
So I'm basically just wasting these arbiter for no reason because it's not that
Yeah,
hard
and that's
to
actually making it much more likely that you're going to lose the game. Because if he hadn't turned around here, then you could have lost. You would have lost top left, right?
Right.
If it just kept on going, because he's got 3-1. Your gateway army can't really fight him without spellcasters, and you used 1 arbiter to recall in another 2 arbiters and lost all 3 of them. So yeah, the fact he turned around is really, really bad. This Terran does not want to win this game.
So I made a stupid play, but it worked out only because he.
Yeah. Or where he is right now, he can push bottom right too. And if bottom right is just as good. If he knocks out bottom right and then double expansion out there, he's still fine.
Yeah, he should have just killed my top left.
Yeah, his army was already at top left.
Right.
He could have absolutely killed that. And like he can just send reinforcements to mid right. Although mid right wasn't even actually in any danger of dying. Yeah, could you look at this situation? He has let's count these tanks. 6, 9, 10, 14, 16, 17 tanks, 3 vessels with EMPs and a shitload of other units. He could kill top left.
Yeah, he can kill top left, take 12.
Yeah, and then it's a game.
Right.
Yeah, it costs you 3 arbiters. So, I mean, that you wouldn't actually be able to fight his army. Him moving back here is just, he has no idea what his win condition is. His win condition is he takes a corner from you. But because he doesn't know what his win condition is, he's just doing this shit.
Yeah, he probably got
He can lose 3 o'clock.
He probably got
3 o'clock.
scared.
If he trades 3 o'clock for top left, that is fucking great for him. He can take 3 o'clock back. He's got resource, he's got bank. He's still mining the natural. It's fine. He can retake it, but what you can't retake easily is top left.
Right.
Like,
yeah, it's way harder for Protoss to retake.
Yeah. So yeah, even in the situation where mid right was actually in any danger, which it's not, he still should have sacked it. This was him losing the game right here. He's like, yeah, I'll let Protoss stay on all the corners for a little bit longer. We'll see how that plays out. It's like, okay, but not well. It's not going to go great for you. He then diverts the entire army to 12 o'clock because there were 3 dead zealots there.
He just follow my unit around, man, this guy.
Yeah, he just, every time he sees anything on the minimap, he just does 1A, 2A, 3A.
Now he's actually committing.
Cast your storms, man.
Yeah, if I storm right there, it was GG. Big tank dead.
Also, if you had some stasis, you could just stasis the ramp.
You are exactly right, Jake. That's why we're doing reveal. Because when you're in the game, it's hard to think during the game. At least for me.
Yeah, that's why I don't think about it. I just know it.
And to know it, you have to do stuff like this to understand concept and fundamentals. So this is very useful to me.
So we tried threatening mid-right again, and that didn't work. Okay, then we just kill all his tanks for free because he doesn't scan. And the Zealots just run up, and the tanks have no mind cover. I mean, this guy's like C rank, right? The reason that we are able to just run over his
Hey, he's in the
3-1
clan, man.
tank
He's
line.
in the Wii clan. They got some pro gamer, I think.
I think you're confusing Wii with Wico. So yeah, these tanks have absolutely no vulture support. They have no Goliath support. There are no mines. Your Zealots just run over them and kill them all for free. So I mean, at this point, the game's over. Although you're still saying things like, "Oh yeah, I have to kill 3 o'clock to win." You've got all the corners.
I'm trying to make it exciting, man. I'm gonna keep people watching.
Yeah, man. I need a recall. That's the only way we can. Like, game's over. Yeah, here we go into 3 o'clock again.
I need the recall.
Like, you just don't. You've won the game. You won the game before any of this nonsense happened. But I mean, you made it hard work for yourself with the. Also, now it's carrier time. Just to be clear.
Right.
And also, when I say now it's carrier time, like it's like the 12 Stargate carrier time. It's like, okay,
12 stock.
we have locked the game down into the position we wanted. He can't really attack top left. He can't really attack bottom right. He's on his 4 bases. He's only ever going to have his 4 bases. Let's just go to the end game.
Right. All right. So
Like,
let's.
check.
Okay, I'm trying to understand. So you don't go carrier if they are contesting the map, because your goal is to destroy the big army in the middle. You want to take map control. But after you stop their pushes, after you secure the expansion, that's when you do the end game carriers. Right?
Carry is just to make them leave.
Okay.
But the game's over before you go.
So
carriers.
you don't just randomly go carrier to win the game. You did make carrier to make them leave the game. Okay.
So did you watch the game I played on Vermeer against Artosis?
I did.
Okay. So I had observed his base very, very
Well,
early.
you can show us the game right now. You can show the stream if you
so
want.
I noted that it was a 4-player map and that he had like a bunch of factories early.
Bro, stop spamming Trump, man. I mean, it was kind of funny at first, but now it just get a new joke. Okay, Clark, you can host that replay.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Hold on.
Okay, man.